What's on your mind? Don't ever stop. Don't ever stop. What do you think?
I bet you think I'm not talking. Well, I am. Yes, it's right. I've got us live on Facebook, live on the radio. It's going to be a great day. Hello, Greenwood. That's right. We just talked about the weather, 61 degrees out there right now, headed to the mid-80s, so a lovely day. You've got to make sure that you get out there and enjoy some of this beautiful day that we have been given. But let's jump right in. I got a lot of stuff to talk about here this morning, so I want to start out with the story about Ware Shoals and the police department over there. Now, they are being helped, FYI, if you're over there in Ware Shoals and wonder what the heck is happening. I believe our Greenwood Sheriff's Department is over there helping cover stuff. So this is an article in the Index Journal, and the police department is nearly gutted by resignations, and the Ware Shoals Public Safety Committee spent much of Monday's meeting discussing recruitment, accountability, and residents' concern as the town works to stabilize its law enforcement operations. So the town has received 6 applications for police chief and 22 for officers' positions, 4 of which came from certified officers. Well, that's a good thing. The application period closes September 19th. They say they currently have 3 officers and the chief of police who have now resigned. We're still in the process of looking for officers. Usually we'd have a police report tonight, but without a chief in place, we don't have access to that information. God. Okay, so of course the resignations in recent weeks included Chief Brian Lewis, Sergeant John Spillers, Officer Anthony Peake, and Officer Samantha Priest. So there was an article in the Index Journal previously where the mayor, Brian Ross, linked the decline in size of the police force to disputes over GPS trackers being installed in patrol vehicles. We're having some issues with police officers not wanting to put GPS on their cars, Ross said at the time. With those on cars, if someone says an officer is not patrolling in a particular area, we can go back and check that. It's making sure they're patrolling certain areas. It says the issue came up at a council meeting during which Peake resigned in open session. Not long after, we lost Officer Samantha Priest. The committee then reviewed police department policies, focusing on recruitment, training, etc., etc. A reoccurring concern was accountability for equipment and conduct going forward. They've had a problem with leaving the department without a record of what officers were issued or returned. She said the building will be audited to establish a baseline and ensure all items are properly tracked moving forward. Some of this revolved around social media. Social media, that big elephant in the room. A few of the residents asked committee questions centered on officer use of social media. These questions were centered around videos posted to TikTok showing officers dancing in uniform and allowing unauthorized ride-alongs. One of the councilwomen, Jensen, who came to town in January, said she initially believed no social media policy existed, but later confirmed a town-wide social media post policy has been in place for years. So she is now certified that all current officers have now signed the social media policy and that efforts are underway to ensure compliance and accountability as the department rebuilds. Fire Chief Brian Butler said everything's going fine in the fire department, so that's good. They plan to schedule a meeting Tuesday night where Jensen says she expects to be able to update police reports will be available. This idea that a police department would not want to have GPS trackers on the car, I can think of several, but, oh, excuse me. No, I thought I was going to sneeze. I thought that would be pretty bad to be Facebook Live and sneeze. But anyways, I've recovered. All right. So, but to get back to my point, having a GPS on a police car doesn't seem like it should be that big a deal unless you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. And so my question is, why have a problem with it? As the article states, and I've read in some other things, it makes it easy when somebody says that nobody's patrolling. You just pull the tapes and say, yes, ma'am, they came through at this time and this time. And when somebody says that somebody came speeding by, a police officer came speeding by my house at a high rate of speed, you can pull the tape and say, well, no, they actually were going 35, 40, whatever it was. So it helps with transparency. Buzzword, I might add. Transparency is our new buzzword, you know. And it also helps to answer questions to the public. So, I'm sure going forward that all cars will have GPS trackers, and this will not be a problem because it looks like where Shoals is standing up for what they believe is right and being, I'm using the word aggressive in air quotes, to getting what they need to be done. So kudos to Ware Shoals and whatever was going on over there in Ware Shoals. I'm not saying anything was going on, but sounds a little suspicious to me. All right, let's move on and talk about some other topics here today, because as I said, I am loaded for bear here today. Representative Nancy Mace pushes an amendment to ensure military buys American-caught seafood. I think this is truly great. It is certainly giving support, right? Support to our troops to be making sure they're eating local seafood, etc. And particularly for us, South Carolina seafood. But she introduced an amendment to the National Defense Authorization Act, which would require the Department of Defense to purchase only American-caught seafood. For too long, foreign competitors have undercut American workers, threatened our economy, and exploited loopholes in federal law, Mace said. If the Pentagon is buying seafood, it will come from American waters caught by American hands, not from our adversaries. And, of course, this goes along with the story down there on the coast where there were restaurants that are on our coast right outside Charleston in that area that were caught that they were not. They were saying they were serving South Carolina shrimp when they weren't. So, ultimately, the results of Shrimp Gate remain tied up in litigation, with several restaurants going to broker an agreement with the South Carolina Shrimpers Association. You know, this type of thing is what makes America work. Somebody's called out on it. Now they're getting together and they're doing something about it. So this is important. It's important that we know our food sources. And, you know, when I was talking, I believe it was Monday when John Kennedy was talking about, like, it could be as low as 1% of the shrimp. He was talking about shrimp, but seafood, but shrimp particularly, were being inspected, and they were not coming into this country with good condition. They may have had antibiotics in it. They may have been being raised in dirty water. I mean, he listed off a bunch of things on that. So, from that standpoint, having fish that came from or shrimp that came from our local country makes a lot of sense. He did point out that other countries can check their imports in their foods up to 50%. Unfortunately, we are not doing as well, and he said this needs to change. In 2024, Mace did introduce the Protect American Fisheries Act, which sought to add economic causes as allowable grounds for declaring a fishery resource disaster. At the time, the legislation was supported by over 20 fishery organizations and possessed bipartisan support. Ooh, there's a bad word, bipartisan support in Congress. It was referred to the committee but never moved forward, according to Congress.gov. So with this National Defense Authorization Act, Nancy Mace believes South Carolina shrimpers will benefit from fair rules moving forward. So let's hope that something is done about that. Number one, it is good for the shrimpers, but it's also good for our country to be making sure that our food source is safe. You know, we're all right now, they're all in the case of the CDC and what's happening there and vaccines, Robert Kennedy, all this stuff. This is just another part with what's happening with our food service and everything, with our food inspections and everything, part of the picture. You know, I think about when our country started. And how just it wasn't too long ago that the population of the United States was just not that big. But as we opened the gates for immigration, we have totally changed the focus here. Our country is getting too full of people. That's my personal opinion. I think we'd have a lot less problems if we had a lot less people in this country. I'm not willing to leave, though. Anyways, that's another aspect. So we've got, what else do we have here this morning? That's one story. We'll have to follow that and see how that does. Nancy Mace, you know, she's on the hunt to be the next governor of the great state of South Carolina. We are in talks to have her on the radio very soon here and working to get some of our other candidates. I can tell you Pamela Evitt will be joining us on September 18th. In fact, I better write that down. September 18th, Pam will be on the morning show. So looking forward to hearing how her campaign is going. Looking forward to getting her campaign ads on our station. Because, you know, this is the time that I look forward to. Campaign ads, that's right. All right, so what else did I have here this morning? Going back to my lineup here for you. This story about the dog. Oh my God, it just gets worse and worse and worse. On that poor dog. Oh no, it's not going to go there. On this poor dog that is, all right, we'll go this way. That was taken out of its yard, and because the people with this, what was it, Anakin's group, some group up there, anyways, in Greenville, thought that they needed to do something about it. All right, that the dog was abused. They took it to a vet. The vet said yes, it was suffering from. It was suffering from heart failure, all right? And where is that article? All right, it was, oh yes, here we go. Greenville County investigator speaks out for first time after members steal and euthanize the dog. Remember that story? An animal crimes investigator, this is on Fox News, local Carolina Fox News, speaking out for the first time since 4 members of a rescue group were arrested for stealing a dog and putting him down. It's a very bad case, probably one of the worst cases, one of the worst I've seen posted like that, Greenville County Sheriff Office investigator Darren Britt said. Animal crimes investigator Darren Britt encounters animals in horrific situations, but a picture of a dog named Louie. Okay, so The Greenville County Sheriff's Office said animal rescue group Anakin's Trails stole a 14-year-old Cocker Spaniel from his own yard and then had him put down without his owner's knowledge. Britt found out about the case several days later when the group posted photos of the dog. And he said, this one seemed like a very awful case. The way it was portrayed, the dog was in the middle of nowhere on a power pole, no food, water, that he was so bad off that he had to be euthanized, Britt said. Well, that was not the story. So they said they go out there, they basically knock and talk. Nobody obviously expecting us or anything like that, Britt said. She shows us where she kept the dog, kept Louie. Obviously, when we walked over there, we saw the dog houses, the 4x4 fence post with a trolley system on it, and all of it was out there. He said the photos were deceptive. Why is this was a pretty well-respected organization up there in Greenville doing this? This is the question. Obviously, he said, by that point, I am shocked. I was flabbergasted that the setup, because it was nothing that I had imagined. I had imagined a field in the middle of nowhere with the power pole. We got her side of the story, so our next stop is obviously going to be the vet's office. She's not surprised that we showed up because she said it was a very odd situation. Investigators said Louie was diagnosed with heart failure a year earlier and was taking medication. When Anakin's Trails brought him to the vet, he was again diagnosed with heart failure. The veterinarian provided 2 operations, either put him down or possibly treat him. Britt said the suspects told the vet his owner surrendered him and they chose euthanasia. The vet told investigator Britt these conversations were recorded. She was able to provide video footage of inside the vet office and also a recorded call with one of the individuals, and at that point it was pretty obvious, he said, Britt, this animal investigator said, I was really shocked. 4 suspects are out on bond. But this is a story that is just horrific, and in no way, shape, and form can you understand why a dog that had 2 dog houses, food, all these things in his backyard, and in the original story, they never even knocked on the door, tried to talk to the person, ask if everything was okay, ask if they could help. They just went into the property and took the dog. Now, the woman was paying to have him, he had medication until such time, I guess, that it got worse, or she decided she was willing to let go. But that was not a situation where this dog was abused. So we are going to keep following that story right here on WCRS because it is just horrific, So, there you go. There you go. Just another good, just another good story right here in South Carolina. Also, I do want to talk about this deal right here, just because I'm here on this right now. Let's see if I can keep this one from coming up. Nope. There you go. All right. The annual Warbird Weekend Static Show will return to Greenville Downtown Airport October 4th and 5th. This show, if you've never been up there for it, is absolutely terrific. Now, I don't know whether Tom Richards of Warbird Adventures right here in 96 will be there, but that's originally how I met Tom, and that was the year he had bought the property, and so I got to meet him, and then he was up there in Greenville. Now, they don't do rides. It's not an air show, although they will have planes flying on the airstrip. And the neat thing about this air show is you can go up and get up close and personal with the planes. But this is going to be so sweet. They are going to have the event features rare historic aircraft, aviation displays, and family-friendly activities at the Greenville Downtown Airport. Okay. They said the the star of the show this year is Rosie's Reply, a World War II era B-25 Mitchell bomber brought in by the Michigan Flight Museum. This is huge. Greenville is one of the only East Coast stops for the aircraft, offering the public a chance to book a ride. Oh, you can book a ride in this in a combat veteran bomber. So if you are a flight junkie, if you like these old planes, this is just too cool. According to officials, Rosie's Reply flew 8 combat missions with the 12th Air Force over Italy and the Brenner Pass. The B-25 bomber was made famous in the Doolittle raid on Japan only 4 months after the Pearl Harbor attack in Hawaii. It was the first and only times bombers were launched from an aircraft carrier. So there'll be several things on display at this one. It's really just a great event to go up there, take the kids, and enjoy yourself. You will be able to see the planes. Looks like they're giving rides on this one. That's pretty cool. They're also going to have Celebrate Freedom Foundation will bring a Cobra helicopter and a military hunter drone. Oh, got to see that. Warbird Adventures, okay, right here from 96. We'll bring a T-6 Texan and Sabrata for aerobatic instructional flights. Greenville City Fire Department will bring their aircraft rescue and firefighting truck for display. South Carolina National Guard will display the iconic CH-47 Chinook and the UH-72 Lakota helicopters. And more, and more. They've got a lot more going on. But I wanted to just update you and hope you'll put that on your calendar. I sure want to try to make it up there and see if we can't get some video and everything. But that is going on. That will be going on October 4th and 5th. So I believe that'll be a Saturday and a Sunday, if I am not mistaken. Yep, Saturday and Sunday. So check that out. Put that on the calendar. I will make sure to mention that again because that's just too cool. Now, moving on. What else did we have this morning? Oh, yeah. Well, Girl Scouts are trying to merchandise their merchandise effectively. And this year they've decided to go ahead. They are trying to go ahead and make sure that you know what kind of cookies they're going to have and what cookies are being gotten rid of. So this is the deal. They're really amping up their game. It certainly puts. Remember when what was it? Pecan Sandies, I think those were a big one. And the peanut butter, what were those ones? The ones that had the peanut butter in the center. Those were my favorite, as well as the chocolate mint. Well, they're launching a new cookie. That's right. And they're telling us in advance, which normally it always has to be a surprise. But see, they're into marketing now, knowing that it takes a while to get the public to appreciate a new variety. So, coming up nationwide will be something called Exploramores. Exploramores. That's right. That's kind of sounds like s'mores, but it's Exploramores. It's not a s'more. They already have s'mores, which was ironically one of the 2 flavors discontinued after the 2025 season. So, what is an Exploramore? It's actually inspired by Rocky Road ice cream and features 2 chocolate-flavored cookie halves on either side of a marshmallow. Oh, that's the radio station telling us it's 10 o'clock in the city of Greenwood, South Carolina, and you are listening and watching WCRS radio. So the Exploramores, let's see. So they're flavored cookies halves on either side of a marshmallow and toasted almond flavored cream filling. They're not dairy or gluten-free like some of the other Girl Scout cookie offerings, but they are still supposed to be delicious. Anyways, while some would say Exploramores perfectly reimagines the nutty, chocolatey, marshmallow frozen treat as a cookie, it says it would suggest, the Girl Scouts USA says, the spirit of exploration at the heart of every Girl Scout. Wow. Okay. So we've got the ice cream, the Rocky Road ice cream, and now we have Exploramores as a cookie. You'll have to try that one out. Now, they are going to make sure that they're offering this. Then, of course, I did want to read you what is being discontinued. They're telling you in advance what is being discontinued. I do believe I saw this last night. Where is it? Girl Scout cookies will begin offering the Exploramore cookies both online and in person at local booths during the upcoming 2026 season. But it doesn't say. I thought I read where it was. Okay, well, I must have reimagined which ones they were getting rid of. It says they will be having the Thin Mints, peanut butter sandwich, Do-si-dos, samosa, caramel delights, and peanut butter patties, tagalongs, according to the news. So if there's any others, maybe they're being discontinued. But that's what they're doing. So if you want to keep up with their information, go to the official Girl Scout website or text cookies to 59618. Yes, see, Girl Scouts are all in it for the marketing and the money. One of the things that I thought was interesting, each Girl Scout troop gets to decide what the money that they're going to get will be used for. So you can actually find out what they're raising the money for, which I think is kind of cool too. So that's just a little update on Girl Scout cookies coming in, the early spring, late winter of this coming year. Now, what else do you have here, Ann? What else do you have here this morning? Told you about, I don't know if I told you this on Facebook. The Lander rugby team is going to play West Point this Friday. I talked to their coach, Buck Billings, and they are all excited. They're actually driving up there and playing Friday afternoon. I think he told me 3 p.m. This is a huge honor for Lander to be able to do this, and so they're all excited. And, that's a growing team, that rugby team, and to go up there on the way back, they're going to stop by Washington, D.C. and check out all the monuments and things going on in Washington. So pretty cool for this group of rugby team members to be able to do that. So I wanted to mention that this morning. And let's see, I think I had something else, and then we're going to talk about events. What else do we have? Coming up this afternoon, we're going to have a great show, as we always do, when Tammy and Jim Baber take the airwaves here on WCRS to talk about Lights on Main coming up this Saturday. So you'll want to tune in for that. They've got a color run. They've got the Remembering 9/11. And FYI, tomorrow morning is 9/11, and I'm sure there's going to be ceremonies, etc. here. I am actually not going to be here tomorrow. I'm going to be at one of our schools here in Greenwood with our GPA music program, music education and encouragement for our, kindergarten through third, or K-5 through third grade. So this is going to be an excellent program. It will be Shannon Tanner is going to be doing this program at several of our schools here in Greenwood County. And he will... And then Friday night, he will be performing. At the market uptown. Of note, tickets are available for that event just by going to GPA, GreenwoodPerformingArts.org. But I do want to tell you, all kids get in for free. So that is pretty cool, and I think they're anticipating that a lot of the kids that'll be in these programs will hopefully go and see him on stage Friday night. So check that out. More info coming up on that. But Thursday morning I will not be here. Thursday afternoon I'm going to have Shannon Tanner live in studio with us after 2 performances in the school. He's going to come by here and we're going to talk about cheeseburgers in paradise. We're going going to talk about his tribute show to Jimmy Buffett and how our experience was with students at some of our elementary schools. So I hope you will be tuned in for that. That is Thursday afternoon. So no morning show, but I will be back there. Friday morning, I'm probably not going to be able to do a show either because we've got another school that we're going to go to. And then, of course, Friday evening, Shannon Tanner and the Oyster Reefers. Is that what it's called? Oyster Reefers, is that it? I think so. Yes, is that it? If I got it right. Shantan and the Oyster Reefers will be at Uptown at the Marketplace. Tickets are $40. There's also a tequila experience, tasting experience, that if you'd like to be part of that, you can also get your tickets online at Greenwood Performing Arts. .org, but that's an additional $60. They're going to have tequila tastings, and they're going to have special appetizers at that event. Now, at the main event, which is the tickets are just $40 for, they are going, and that'll be from 6 to 7. Now, the concert starts at 7 at the Marketplace, 7 to 9, the Uptown Market. Fat Daddy's is going to be there cooking up some cheeseburger sliders, and he's going to be there making some cool island tacos. They're going to have snow cones, and some other things will be there too. So make sure you come out. It's going to be a nice end of summer event, I guess we should call it, as summer is fast fading away, even though we've still got fabulous weather. What's your favorite season? You know, that's a hard one. I used to like summer when I lived in Maine. Well, not down here. Summer's pretty hot. I think the spring, when we have a glorious spring, is one of my favorite times. And I also love fall. I hope we have a long, beautiful fall this year. So that's a little bit about that. Now, I want to talk about one more thing. This is going on over at Lander. And Franklin Rausch, history is all fun and games. And this is what I think is so neat about this, is that he is making history likable. And that's important. You know, isn't it great when we can have history that is likable? Well, he is developed a gaming to make history fun. And so if you think history's boring, and I got to admit, when I was young, I did. Now I see the error of my ways. I should have paid attention more in history class. But thanks to Professor Franklin Rausch, about 5 years ago, he decided he wanted to teach beyond lecturing. He drew on his past experiences of playing many different games in his youth to develop games for the classroom. As he worked on the intricacies of design, he turned to Landers University's print shop to print cards and boards to bring history to life. And the students reacted positively and gave him good feedback on how to improve the games. So now a President's Grant has made it possible through a program initiated by Lander President Richard Cosentino, will enable Rausch to enhance the gaming experience for students and other faculty. We're going to try to have Dr. Rausch on with another Dr. Rollins, I think it is, at Lander University, actually with a special show on Monday, this coming Monday afternoon, to talk about some of the events to celebrate the Constitution. Constitution Day is on Wednesday, and I might add that Bells Across America will be doing a program on that. We'll have more details about all of that. But to get back to Dr. Rausch, it says the games help students stay engaged. They laugh and tease each other over how the game goes, helping them to stay focused, another buzzword. If you throw in some competition and luck, like throwing dice or drawing cards, it helps people pay attention. It also helps them discover things for themselves and see how historical principles work out. And, you know, as, what was it? Who was it? Who said? I think it was Benjamin Franklin. Let's see. I'm not sure who said this, but history has a way of repeating itself. If you don't know history, you're going to make the same mistakes and you're going to end up with the same outcome. So, there you go. That's a little bit about that article. We'll talk more about this at on Monday. Monday afternoon be 5 to 6, normal diner time, but we will be doing that 5 to 6. So put that on your calendar to hear all about what's happening over at Lander. You know, Lander is really committed to, I'd say, our Constitution. I'd say our the history, how important history is, and being involved with the community. In fact, on Wednesday, I don't have my notes right here in front of me, but on Wednesday, you really should put this on your calendar. They are bringing two famous guys to reenact the Constitution. It's Constitution Day. I think they're doing a reading of the Constitution, and they'll be dressed in all the garb and everything. I will have more updates on that. I just don't have my notes right here in front of me. So please check that out. All right. Now, what else do we have here? We are going to go and just give an update on some of the fun things coming up this week. First off, football. On the 13th, South Carolina plays Vanderbilt. That is a home game. And on the 13th, Clemson plays Georgia Tech. That is an away game, but not too far away, so that may be one that a lot of people will be going to. We will start carrying the game. I think we are going to be slated to begin that around 9 o'clock with a kickoff at 12 o'clock for the game at Georgia Tech. So that's pretty cool. Now, on our local football teams, we have the Greenwood Eagles are playing a home game against Lexington. The Emerald Vikings on the 12th are an away game with Gettysburg, and 96 Wildcats are in our away game at Abbeville. Is that right? Yep, at Abbeville. So that's a little update on our sports. One thing I hate about the change of seasons, though, have you noticed that your sinuses and all this system gets screwed up? So I have too. Here you go. I hope you check out our Facebook Live. I really put a lot of effort into doing this every day. I mean, I have to get up and make myself gorgeous, you know, and it's difficult, but I try. Anyways, I hope you'll check it out. We certainly enjoy doing that. I enjoy having the information that we say on this show. Excuse me. I certainly appreciate how quickly we can get the information to you, because that Facebook Live is immediately available on our website, WCRS. I'm not on our website, excuse me, on our Facebook page, WCRS 98.5 FM /1450 AM. And it's also by the next day, usually, it's on our website at WCRS1450am.net. I know a lot of you are in the car and going places, and maybe you get to hear part of the show, but then you can go back and listen to the whole show or watch the whole show, whatever you'd like. Our afternoon shows are also live on Facebook, and that has been a real boom to what we do right here at WCRS. We will be live this afternoon with Tammy Baber and her husband, the fire chief over there in Hodges. They got a big event coming up this Saturday. You're going to want to thing about it is, on Saturday, it's almost like you're going to have to go to several events, and then there's ones Friday night, too, that are everywhere. So let's quickly, and if you can do anything quickly, let's go and see what events are coming up, so at least you can be thinking about what you want to do. We've talked about Greenwood Performing Arts kicking off their 2025-26 season with Margaritaville Magic with Shantan and the Oyster Reefers, 7 to 9, Uptown Greenwood. This is a Jimmy Buffett-inspired show. We'll have parrot heads doing fins to the left, fins to the right as the band plays. This is going to be a fun, interactive show, and as we said, it is free for children. Tickets are $40, and so that's out there. But you can also go to greenwoodperformingarts.org and purchase your tickets right there online. Other shows coming up, and this is from St. Clair's, our article in the Index Journal. Hodges Elementary Honey Jam Concert. This is a concert that was supposed to be a few weeks ago. Looks like it's coming on strong this Friday. So this Friday's really going to be busy. The Hodges Honey Jam Concert at Hodges Elementary School, 6 to 8. Enjoy food vendors and live music by one of the school's former principals, Roger Richburg, Bobby Power, Tracy, and Byron, and the school's current music teacher, Leslie Nally, along with several student performers. Admission is $5 per person or $20 per family. Proceeds support the Hodges Cokesbury Fire Department. And so this is pretty cool. So it says Nally has 13 years teaching experience and has been in bands for much of her life. You just might hear a bluesy version of the ABC song and songs to which you can sing along. So that is Leslie Nally. She is now the current music teacher over there at Hodges. But lots of people, Tracy and Byron, are going to be there. Roger Richburg, who it says school's former principals, and so that's going to be cool. Now, last Thursday, we had Foster the Beat on with Ellen Reeder and Justo Schiller. That's going on Friday night, 6 to 10. It's a music concert supporting Greenwood-based A Voice for the Children. This nonprofit foundation helps children to foster and kinship care across Greenwood and Abbeville counties. The concert is at the Legacy City Church, 1560 Parkway, right here in Greenwood. That is very close to the hospital over there. Here's who's performing. So this is going to be a great concert. Freddie McClendon, Audrey Adams, Pope and Bert, Justo Schiller, and Bo Fisher, and the Chocolate Crackers. Get your tickets online or go to their Facebook page. General admission tickets are $25, and I do believe tickets will be available at the event. So that's another one. So there's a horse show. Now, I didn't know about this. So there's a horse show, Friday Night Lights horse show at the Connie Maxwell Farms Arena, 50 Jenkins Springs Road, Greenwood. Gates open at 5, show starts at 7. Various rider divisions and events, including barrel racing, pole bending, and arena race, and more. And it says the contact on that is Lauren Jones at ConnieMaxwell.com. Don't see any ticket information or what is the cost for that. Music at AOH, Abbeville Opera House, hosts the Peachtree Players and the Dixie Diner. That's the show opens at 7:30 on Friday. So that's from Alicia Lane Duncan and features music also. So it should be a lot of fun. You can get your tickets at aftontickets.com. Now Saturday, this is a very cool event. I got to say, the city's got a very cool event. Shopping, food trucks, and football in Uptown. Uptown Merchants Association hosts its second fall kickoff in Uptown Greenwood. That'll be going on from 10 to 3 on Saturday. This event puts a fun focus on fall and football, and they'll have sales at merchandise Uptown Greenwood, but they're also going to have food trucks, drinks, face painting, and outdoor games. Live streams of some of Saturday's big gridiron matchups. Now that is going to be taking place down at the marketplace and all around Uptown Greenwood. Howard's on Main will have a mobile What? What does it say? What does it say? Howard's, well, okay, I'm messed up now. Yep, Howard's on Main will have a mobile bar for fall kickoff on Waller Avenue from noon to 2. A few players and coaches from Emerald High School will host a football clinic. Test your throwing skills. Do you have the perfect spiral? Some shops will be live streaming games. Keep up with scores and shop at the same time. So there you go. They're also going to give away or raffle off a basket, a gift basket, with more than $400 worth of stuff in it. And that will be, you go around and you get your card punched from Uptown shops during the fall kickoff to be entered to win. Pretty cool. Saturday over in Abbeville, this is another cool event that has to all do with America 250. Join Abbeville for the first Andrew Pickens Day on September 13th, 10 to 4. This new event recognizes Abbeville County's role in American Revolution with activities including the launch of the Voices of Revolution exhibit at the Welcome Center, tours of the here we go, what did I got? Of the Templeton Hill Drake Cabin and more. So that's a cool event going on over in Abbeville. They're having some live comedy at Erskine. And Saturday, of course, is honoring first responders. Saturday, 10 to 10 at the Hodges Cokesbury Fire Department. Lights on Main, recognizing first responders for the anniversary of September 11th. So really good program. Hear more about it this afternoon right here on WCRS Radio. So that's what we got going on. Do we have anything else I need to tell you about? Oh, let's see. We just had something. Yes, we're carrying the Emerald Broom game on Friday. And Whataburger. I didn't tell you about Whataburger. I did forget about that. So, I need to sit down. Okay, here we go. I'm going to sit down here for just a second. We're closing it out with Whataburger. Whataburger we got. That's right. Whataburger is opening its first location in Greenwood. What does it say? Oh, yeah. Let's make sure we got this right. Whataburger is opening its first Greenwood location on Thursday. It's located, as you know, right on the 262 bypass 72 Northwest. Grand opening is set to take place on 9 a.m. at September 11th. According to officials, the first 100 customers will get a free Whataburger sway bag and a honey butter chicken biscuit or breakfast taquito. So there you go. Get in line early. Grand opening is at 9, so the first 100 customers get a free honey butter chicken biscuit or a breakfast taquito. So there are 17 Whataburgers located in South Carolina. So I guess that's a good thing to close with this morning, and it is. Hey, you know what? I'm Ann Eller. I'll be back at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Hope you'll join us, and have a great day. This is your favorite radio station, because we can remember stuff right here, giving you all the information, all the stuff you can stand right here from WCRS News Desk. I got to tell you this at the end. Penny had quite a day yesterday. In fact, she slept very well. Earlier in the day, I was out there in the backyard. I was doing something, and she was right there in the yard, not just kind of hanging out. And as parents do, I looked away for a second, and she was gone. And I was like, oh, my God, what has happened to precious Penny? So I'm scanning the field, looking for that little gold body out there in the thing, and I can't see it. And all of a sudden, I hear, yip, 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 yip. And she's out there chasing the deer. She's like a sentinel. She sits there in the yard looking for them to come out of the woods. You see her eyes panning back and forth. Well, one came out of the woods, and I know the deer have to go. Oh, here it is. There's Penny again trying to scare us off. Well, anyways, Penny went charging after him with her orange cord flying behind her so I can try to catch her sometimes, flying behind her. Well, you know how I told you the other day she didn't go into the woods? Well, yesterday she went into the woods. And I wasn't feeling too bad because I know that when I say, Penny, here, she'll come. Well, I made it down to the lower field. Didn't see Penny anywhere. So I'm like, go into the woods, and there she is. So I'm yelling at her, Penny, here! Penny, here! Penny, here! She is just ignoring me with all the smells and everything that were in the woods there. So we've now opened another door. Now, I did capture her and did bring her back up. And then yesterday afternoon, she had a great time with a play date with a dachshund. And they were racing around the yard and just having a great time out there in the back. So it was nice to see that a deer and another dog got to wear out Penny instead of Ann. That was a good day. Hey, that's going to do it for me. Penny, are you ready to go? Yeah, you are. She's getting ready. She's been working on sitting in her chair to be able to be on the morning show. She's going to be a morning show host. And we're not going to add her into the afternoon show, but we are going to put her on the morning show very soon as we're working on getting her to sit up there with her headphones on and make appropriate comments. That's the other thing. You never know what a dog's going to say, do you? Hey. Bye-bye, everybody. This is WCRS Radio here in Greenwood. Bye-bye. All right, that's going to do it for us. Cue the music and cue the music. We're out of here on...
Keep on sharing. The phones are open. Keep on laughing. Give us a call. You gotta keep on caring. As long as you've got